What's up, CDL fans? Welcome back to the channel. Today is a, dark and rainy day here in Texas, but it is officially the first day players can sign contracts to CDL franchises. We have a bunch of rumored rosters that we're going to be running through here today, and I'll be giving my thoughts. Real quickly, I just want to thank you all for 100 subs. I've been saying in my past videos I wanted to hit 100 subs by the end of the year, and we've already hit 100 subs in just through this Rostermania week period. So thank you all so much. The next goal, I guess, is going to be 500 subs. We're going to push it to that 500 subs, maybe by the end of the year. I really appreciate all of your support, and let's just hop right into this Rostermania update. So like I said, the 2023 CDL year has now officially begun, meaning that free agents can now sign their contracts going into the MW2 season. So anyone who is a free agent, all these rumors we've been hearing can now be officialized into the, into their contracts. So it doesn't have to be rumors anymore. So hopefully we start getting some things right off the bat. The first roster I want to talk about is this leaked Minnesota roster where apparently they're pursuing Afro and Cammy to pair alongside Attach, as well as Bance is rumored to be the fourth on this team. For me personally, I think this could be a top team going into next year, maybe even a top 4 roster. You're looking at, a great SMG free agent like Afro, bringing in alongside Cammy and Attach would be 2 great ARs. Attach would likely run the main with Cammy on the flex, and Cammy, yes, he had a down year, but it's been a really good player in recent years. As well as if you bring in Bance to kind of be that leader and also be that route man to pair alongside Afro, you have that EU trio, and then you have Attach running the main AR. I think this is gonna be a really solid look for Minnesota going into MW2. Obviously, Afro is also leaked to be going to the Toronto Ultra. This is probably, this makes sense. It has been leaks that we've seen from many sources, such as zoomaa, as you see here on the screen. But it'd be interesting to see, because this came out before the rumor about this ROKKR roster. So it'd be interesting to see where Afro ends up going, because he is a top free agent in this free agency offseason. So he really does have the pick of the litter about where he wants to go. For me personally, I think as the 4th player on this roster to pair alongside Attach, Afro, and Cammy, I think Bance is a great option, or maybe even Asim. They definitely need a route man that's willing to, take the long rounds, make the dirty plays in order to get them rotations or maybe secure hill time. So I do think that someone like Bance would be great, especially on the leadership front, or someone like Asim and then Attach or Cammy would have to step up on that leadership side. So I do think that would be pretty interesting. And I guess this is a good little transition to briefly mention Asim is officially a restricted free agent. They did extend his contract, I believe, or had said they were extending his contract, but now he is officially a free agent, so he could fit onto this Minnesota ROKKR team. Next up, let's touch on this rumored LAG roster, because I think it's pretty interesting. So as you can see here from this tweet from Jacob Hale, who's a Dexerto reporter or editor, so he is pretty sourced. A lot of the CDL Benjay, Nissim, or zoomaa have said this guy is pretty credible. It says that sources are claiming arcitys is going to be going to LAG. I believe there was rumors that someone made a big buyout on arcitys to FaZe, which would make sense because LAG, as we all know, has a lot of money. It'd be interesting to see this roster because, as we can see here in this tweet from CDL Intel, the rumored roster is apparently arcitys, Hook, Spartan, Neptune. Now, unfortunately for arcitys, this is pretty much a major downgrade from who he's been teaming with in recent years. Obviously, no offense to, the likes of Hook, Spartan, Neptune, who are all good players in their own right. Hook and Spartan won an event this past year, which arcitys didn't even do. So they do obviously have that over him from this Vanguard season. But the Hook, Spartan, Neptune trio has been an interesting one that I think was rumored to go to Florida for a period of time. And then there was the Standy Dave Patty kind of rumor, took that over. I don't know how I feel about this roster. I think it's possible they're good. Hook was really good in MW 2019. Neptune had a down year. Spart looked pretty decent. I think this is kind of, not a great roster. This is maybe like a top 10 team, in my opinion. I wouldn't expect amazing things out of this team, but then again, you never know. Is this, is this maybe what arcitys wants to do? Probably not. If I had to guess, arcitys would probably rather go to other teams and build other rosters, maybe heading to a team like Boston or New York and building his own team there, or filling into a spot like Seattle, maybe replacing Accuracy. But this is the rumored LAG team, so in my opinion, not the greatest team, but you never really know what can happen during the season. Now, the rumored Boston team was actually tweeted out by The Flank and then was deleted, so I can't obviously get that tweet. But the tweet said that it was apparently going to be Nero, Vivid, Awakening, and Slasher as the rumored roster for Boston going into MW2. Obviously, one thing to really point out here is that Methods is not on that team. As we know, Methods got the 2-week game launch extension, meaning they have 2 weeks after the game launches to extend him or to move him on as a free agent. So with that rumored roster, Methods is obviously not found. So that means that they're looking to probably not bring on Methods, which makes sense if they gave him the two-week extension. They're just not really sure. They're probably extending him long enough to see if they can bring in someone that they like better fit on this team. And if they can't, they can just extend him as a backup option. But for me personally, Nero, Vivid, Awakening, and Slasher is a pretty solid team. Slasher, I think, was as you watched my awards video, Slasher was my most underrated player from Vanguard. So I think Slasher would be a really good player, as well as Awakening obviously has been a very dominant Slayer in recent years and looked really, really good in his rookie year in MW 2019. So that could be interesting, comparing alongside the aggressive duo of Nero and Vivid on the SMGs. I think this roster is interesting. I'm not sure if it's realistic. I feel like Method's going to end up staying on this team, but that's at least what the rumored breach roster was that came out late last night. Here's another little intel. Apparently Paul X, you can see here, he tweeted out this picture of him in the Ravens uniform, which he then deleted, maybe pointing that he might be going back to London. Would be interesting to see. Obviously, Paul is not expected to be on this NYSL roster, but it would be interesting to see him back on London. I do think he gets a spot in the league where we don't know, but it could be the Royal Raven. And then here's another little intel from CDL Scrum. This was 7 minutes ago they tweeted this. Apparently Insight has a lot of interest in a lot of teams want to sign Insight, which makes sense. He's a really, really good main AR player. FaZe in New York apparently being the two of those. And Ultra probably won't sell him, right? Because he is kind of their key piece, I think. And if they're keeping him and Kleenex to pair alongside Scrappy and Hixie, or maybe someone else instead of Hixie, I don't see them moving on from Insight. Couldn't think of his name for some reason. But you never know. Maybe Ultra tries to take a different route where they sort of become like a farm system where they bring in these rookies, they make them, they show their talent, and then they sell them on for big bucks to, another team, like a big team like FaZe or LAG, who have a lot of money, or I guess NYSL in this case. Would be interesting to see if they go that route. I don't think they are, because all the rumors are pointing to them not wanting to get rid of Insight, but you never really know. I think for me personally, the biggest question mark is that Boston team, because for me, I think FaZe might be trying to target Slasher as kind of like their last case scenario. If they can't get somebody like, let's say, Insight from Toronto, I think Slasher would be a decent fit on that team, kind of be their main AR, be their leader. Slasher was very underrated last year and ended up being one of the top players in a lot of the KD categories, which people didn't really think of, I think, most of the season. So I do think him going to Boston could really put a kink in FaZe's plans. Obviously, all of what we're seeing is rumors, some from reputable sources, maybe some from not reputable sources, but they can officially start signing contracts. So hopefully we will start getting news about this, and I will make videos about it when we do start getting news. So thank you all so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed, drop a like, subscribe for more CDL content, and I will see you all in the next video.